I was talking a little bit about what Kylie was telling us, how he said that there's energy vacuums and energy batteries. You have this energy battery about you that I noticed as a high school kid, just like watching you and like being anywhere near you guys. And I knew a lot of the Jackson guys, and I was friendly with a lot of those guys, Joe Urell, all those guys from back in the day, 2004, early 2000s. And you guys just had this this swagger about you that we ended up having at Johnson and Wales, where it's kind of like you guys walk in with the gray hoodies on, and the whole gym just knows, and I'm sure you played a role in that. Like, was that like a mental thing, or was that in the room? Like, I'm trying to take a few things from you and see what I can kind of cultivate on my own. So,
yeah, it's interesting you say that. So the way we ran our practices and the way we ran our program, there's two things you could bring every single day of your life. It's energy and enthusiasm.
Yes.
That's it. So no matter what, and I talk about this with recruits all the time, no matter what I'm doing in life leading up to that practice, that's part of life, right?
Yep.
Your family, your bills, your this, your that. You're sick or you don't feel great. It's not your best day. The minute that practice is getting ready to start, there's energy and enthusiasm. And you could bring it every day. And nobody could, there's no reason not to have it. And that's the way I felt at a young age. Like, why would I go into a practice room and not give this group my absolute all? I was the same way in football when I coached. I was the same way in softball when I helped out with that. I was the same way in golf. Like,
I can imagine.
I want action with the golfers. and I didn't last too long as a
You're
golf
like,
coach.
dude, chill out.
I feel like that's like you, though, Pete.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you put your best foot forward every day with the kids you're coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You bring
They feel it.
you bring all the positive vibes. Every one of those kids in that room feels your energy.
But shit, I've lost some recruits days right before a practice. I've lost some family. You lost some family friends. There's been accidents. There's been tragedies. There's been just really, really bad days. And you got to go down. And there was a point where we would go 3 o'clock. We'd practice now we practice at 10 in the morning, which is good.
Yeah.
But leading up to 3 o'clock, with academics, Seidenberg's
going on.
years,
A
and
lot
Winston's
could
years, and
happen.
Melody's years,
Yeah.
those guys were wild.
You're putting out fires left and right.
And then boom,
yeah.
you got to go in the practice room. You got to be great.
That's a lot to
You got to
navigate.
be great, and that's. I talk to my team every day. Like, we do these 5-minute announcements. This is what we got coming up. This is what we got to be ready for. If it's a travel day, next couple of days, we'll talk about that. How practice is going to be run. Where we're at. But last thing I always leave them with is just be great today. Just be great.
Love
no
that.
matter what's going on in life, just be great for these next 2 hours, not even 2 hours, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just try to be great right now and lock in and just don't check a box. And when we were at Jackson, it was every day. I would say this all the time, especially in those 2000, we never had a bad day of practice.
Wow.
And it wasn't just my guys. It wasn't the wins. It wasn't even though they were so good.
culture.
Yeah.
It was the coaching staff.
Yeah.
You be great today or don't even
Yeah.
come in. And that was the expectation. I have to be on. And every coach had a role. Heck, I hired the head football coach, Mike Smith, was our assistant wrestling coach. Not that he knew anything about wrestling, but he took care of those big guys, make sure they trained hard and they were prepared for football.
And he had a great football program,
He had a great
too.
football program, which I was fortunate enough to be part of that. But that was every single day.
I love
to
that.
this day, right now, I don't know the exact date. What's the May 24th, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I wake up every day, energy and enthusiasm. And when I can't do that anymore, and it's getting harder.
I can imagine.
It's hard,
Yeah.
especially
I can
with the
imagine.
culture we're in now with NIL, which we'll talk about, or and the portal. It's hard, but if I can't do that, that's probably when it's time for me to do something else. So